When you go to a DIY shop, everything comes in a plastic bag with instructions. When you go wholesale, I take it you know what you're doing. To look YouTube as a Hippo, is it? As a name. If you go YouTube, there's that many. I went to look YouTube how to disconnect the old fitting. There's too many different types. You spend all day looking YouTube. But as I look at that there now, the pipe seems to go right down to my nail, as I'm just going right down to the very bottom. There's a rubber washer around about there, and the teeth's in front of that. You got the teeth first. If I had the torch, it might show up, but you can see it's flat pretty far back. So what I'm going to do now, before I go underneath cut the pipe, I have to put my T-piece on. I have to put it straight on. I want it close as possible. The thing is, you won't see. I have no tool. What size is the tool? No idea what size the tool is. If I had a tool, because if something goes wrong, you have to get it off. Or what's going to happen? I have to end up replacing these two. Never nothing in stock. He didn't have the big bend for the large ones. Every time you go anywhere, they never have it in stock. Always available tomorrow. No wonder why you order online. So I have them pipes cleaned at the end. So I'm going to cut the wee section now. I'll mark it roughly and see how deep it goes. So I'll mark about 2 inches in this here with a wee pen. I'll mark 2 inches up there. And then whenever it goes up and stops, I'll see how far off it is, and that's how I work out how deep it is. And then I know then to do the same over here to get the other piece. So I'll practice with this before I cut underneath, because once I cut underneath, I need to know how much of pipe I need to cut out. If I cut out too much pipe, if you cut out a bit too much pipe, I could bend the pipe towards it. But if I don't cut out enough, I'm not getting in. I get one side on, won't get the other side on. Won't really get the pipe cutter and then to cut it. The right mess. So I'll experiment here first. I'll mark this here pipe here, I say to it. I don't want to put no felt up mark in the joint, so I'll make it bigger than it needs to be. So I'll get one of these markers. I had the phone at the wrong settings. This is 60 frames a second now, hopefully it'll be a bit better. I've marked it 2 inches, I say that's far too big. So I'm going to stick this on now. It's on this way. This is just the wee joint. So I'd imagine it's going to go to about there, I reckon. That's reckon where I think it's going to go. Maybe I should make another wee mark where I think it's going to go. Just see. Right, so I made a second mark where I think it's going to go. So just mark 2 inches for reference. So I reckon the pipe, it's very hard to do both. So that's where I reckon it's going to go. So it's just a wee smidgy past, because I say if it goes a wee bit deeper, I don't want the pen going underneath. So we'll see how close I am. So there it's done now. So it's definitely 3 centimeters of pipe, 3.5. So about 3.5 centimeters of pipe. So I'm going to count 3.5 up here. I need to clean that, and I'll cut that about 3.5. See how close we are. Cut the pipe off at 4 centimeters. I think 3.5 is plenty. But if you want to use the tool, don't know what the tool looks like, but if you use the tool, you probably need a bigger gap. So I'm going to put that on there now. I reckon there's going to be that much pipe left. It'd be handy if it was down there and no pipe left, because it might mean that the distance between that and that, my hole's not going to line up here, right? So I might have to kangle a bit out. It all depends how flexible the pipe is once it's in there. But like, I've no choice. The demand didn't have enough parts. So I'll wait to do this now and I hope it works. Here's a thought. So I could have had it, it's about 3 centimeters in depth. So I'm going to cut this pipe now going along, and that's how far that goes up. It's up higher than I want, you know. Just the size of fittings, what can you do? So I have a rough idea now. This pipe now that I'm cutting out in there, I would need to cut out it's going to be small, you know. I'll cut out about 2.5 centimeters, and then I can pull the pipe towards each other. 2.5 centimeters of pipe's all I'm cutting away, so I'll mark it with this pen under the bath. It's going to be tight getting them to see that. But I'll do that with a wee hand cutter. Yeah, this thing's full up again. It's overflowing. Look at that there, boys. So this other leak, once I cut this other pipe, it's going to be worse. So I can't film this. I just can't. It's going to be impossible to film. But I'm using this here. Wherever that there fits in, that's where I'm going to cut the pipe. I started off, I put my wee tool on to cut it, and it wouldn't make the full circle. So I got the can going and knocked off a bit of plaster. So it means now I really keep it a bit closer to me. Now the plaster's off, I'll cut it, bring it closer to me, so it'll be easy to get the next one off. And that makes the angle of the pipe, because it's a wee bit too high, the pipe. The longer the pipe, the more I get away with. So see that one's down the leak now, almost through. So I'll cut the extra waste off now, off this part here. I find I took a bit of plaster. I never thought taking the plaster off. But look, you see how much room that pipe cutter takes? It takes quite a bit of room, so it does. It looks small that side, but the other side's quite big. So I'll snap through this, and then I'll measure out the 2.5 centimeters. I can afford to pull. Once I cut it, I know if the pipe moves or not, if it pulls towards me. If it does, I might cut away 3 centimeters. And as long as I know I can pull it towards it. See, anybody watching my videos, this is not a how to do things. All my videos have one thing in common. I'm not sure how things are, but I work them out. I have a rough idea how to do things, but in reality, things is never like books. This is what you're working with here in reality. Confined spaces and things that don't work. And you have to make, this does help my long COVID, my brain fog. So I'll cut this on through. I have that pipe cut now, and as I thought, they haven't clipped it to the wall. So the whole pipe moves. So I can pull the pipe towards me. So I mean, I don't have to be as critical now and be cutting. I can cut it a wee bit smaller and pull the pipe towards me. That's how you get rattling pipes in your house, when they don't clip them to the wall. It's behind the bath, nobody sees it, who cares? Hide it. So I'm going to cut off 3 centimeters of this here now. Maybe even 4 centimeters, because it's there's no movement in this pipe. And you have to be able to get, I can't push that pipe back any further. In fact, you know what? I'm going to have to cut it off a bit bigger. I'll see how far this pulls forward, because if I make it too tight, I just physically won't get it in. So I can afford to bring it forward an inch or more, 2 inches. I'll measure it in the measuring tape. It's coming forward a great bit, because you've got the thickness of that fitting to get in. If I jam that in now, you can't physically get in there. So I'll have to cut it on the short side. Maybe I'll take off more of this plaster here and get this cleaned up. So what I done there now, I have this fitting pushed on. And I'm marking, I put a wee red mark right at the very end. So in theory that's too short, but that pipe doesn't go down any further with the wall. And then once I cut it there, I'll pull this forward till it gets a tight fit. That should do the job. That should do the job. Some pipe fittings you can pull apart to get into tight space like this. I've seen them on YouTube. I don't know what brand it is. And I did, by pulling them apart, it leaves a smaller gap. But you still got to have some give in your pipe to get it in the middle. So I'll cut this now with a pipe cutter. That's it, cut now. So it's a matter of me lifting that up now and pulling it in as tight as I can. And when you think it's in, you've got a bit to go. So that's why it's doing a handy, just doing a wee felt tip mark first, you know. I'll just do that. I'll give me a rough idea how far it's in. It doesn't have to be accurate, you just know how far it's in. So I'm going to pull these together now. And once that's on, we'll get the other pipe fed onto here. And then do this big boy. This is the day after the day before. I got all the plumbing done last night. Quite a hassle getting them push fittings pushed in. The one closest to me I could push in, the one furthest away I couldn't. You need 2 people. Unbelievable how some people don't know how to twist and turn. And you think it's in, but it's not in. I'm going to change this flexible pipe here. Got a new one there now. I'm changing the old bath overflow and the things in the bath. Now that I'm here, I'm putting on new ones. And about to make the new hole now in the kitchen. So the original idea, there's the hole there now. So them pipes is coming up. The pipes they come off, one's going below and one's going above. They're in between. I've no choice, can't go any higher, can't go any lower. That's where they are, as straight as they are. So the idea was I'll come straight up, get the water turned off last night, and then I can bring the pipes across. It's going to hold the washing machine out too far. So this pipe now has to run along this red line. I'm going to turn it around. That means there's no way to put a stop valve because the partition of the side panel of the kitchen's going here. So I'm not going to be able to put a stop valve on it. That's one I had already. But I was going to put wee stop valves like that on. This pipe will still go up, but I have to put a T-junction on it. And that's the maximum height. So when I put a T-junction, see if I can drop a wee bit and get it as close down as I can. But it'll still go up because the outdoor tap has to go on. Outdoor tap's going on out there. The waste pipe now have to drill a hole for the waste pipe here. So I've got a pair of connections for the waste pipe. He still hasn't got the part that I need. Everywhere you go, they never have the stuff you want. But it doesn't have. I'm putting on plastic fittings behind here because if their compression fittings aren't start to leak, I've no way of getting at them. I'm going to put the backing on this cupboard here. I'll drill a hole through it where these pipes are going to come out, and I'll put the rest of the back on. This bracket has to come away. It's not going to work with that wee sink, the wee extra bowl. He gave me a fitting to put the washing machine and all in it. Thing about a U-bend, I was going to do a U-bend going down, but by the time you do a U-bend, a standpipe, it holds the waste pipe high off the floor, and I want the waste pipe lower in the floor so I can avoid all these. So by putting the washing machine hose, dishwasher hose straight into the fitting, it'll save a bit of space, and it's cheaper as well. It's going to be more awkward every time you take the machine in and out, you have to disconnect it. But that's how my dishwasher is now at the minute. But the one he has got two, so imagine everybody's got double sinks now. It must work. I'll tell him I had a double sink. So it's 12:30, 1 o'clock now. Looking at how to be walking all this morning. I'm going to drill this hole now, and then I get something to eat. This time I'm going to use a smaller bit. That's the one I used yesterday there. It still worked like, but it's come through a cavity wall like. You see, like you take the size that wee bit, and it's a long way to go to get through that cavity. So I'll start off with a big bit to get it lined both sides. I have an old concrete bench here. It's going to be a ton of weight to shift that for me to get in. So I'll draw from both sides, and as long as it's neat, I can get the can go and bash out the rest. Try and get the whole bit neater than that one was anyway. That one's my first time to use it. The wee bit's come on this for some reason. Didn't do it with a big bit yesterday. Let's do it with this one. I put on pretty tight. It's a lot easier, the wee one compared to the big one. That came away very easy. When I did the bigger hole, it was harder breaking it up. A wee bit of the top's not coming off. But imagine one more go with the bit to be through the wall at all. Through the first layer wall. The cavity wall. I'm not putting my hand there because yesterday it kicked back. See how it damaged the wall? So if it kicks back, I let go. That's what it's through now. We're through. Now I have to go outside now. Do the outside. The one's blown the wrong way today. Yesterday I could open the front door and the dust blew out of the kitchen. Look at the kitchen full of dust. It's going to blow in now towards the rest of the house. That's my pilot hole. I made the very start. Oh, I've lost the bit. Oh no. The bit and the screw have both fallen off inside the wall. For fuck's sake. Inside the wall. Unbelievable that. Unbelievable. Can't come and loose. I'm going to get a pin now. You don't actually need a bit. For the bit, if you don't have a pilot hole, you don't actually need a bit. All I need is something to guide that. I'm going to try this bit. What has happened, that's gone through the wall. The jam, I've pulled it back. The screw has fell out. The bit has fell out. It's inside the cavity. No chance of getting that now to knock the house down. It doesn't have to drill a hole. The hole's drilled. It just needs something to guide. Something to keep us straight. I mean, a bit short there. Too short. So I need something, just a bar. Don't have to be a bit, just a bar. Keep it straight. Something longer than that. I'll probably lose this as well. Unbelievable that. I can't come on this. What can I do? That's too big now. What am I going to do a freehand? I don't know. I need something to start off. Once it starts off, everything takes longer than you first think. Yeah, that one there. Just about. There's all my bits doing. The bit's only guiding it. Doesn't have to spin. So the weird boards, this comes off easy enough. Doesn't come after the big ones easy. I don't think I need that now. Shouldn't wobble about. The triangle bit might work better and the pallet in the middle. When I did the big hole, this bit works better. But I think this one might work better here, cut the middle. We're halfway now. Hitting up. Got a wee crack. It must be near it now. Right, this should here now. Hope I find it bit. You know what, boy? There's not much insulation in that wall there. Supposed to be insulated. Where's all the insulation? That wall looks empty there. I have no insulation at that wall there. You know I'm getting a cramp. These houses were insulated. You think my house never been done? Let's get a wee torch. Oh, that boys, I don't see no insulation there. They knocked that wall down. I thought there was insulation. Unless them boys have lost it. No insulation there. So you get a wee graph of that there, you know. How would I, unless I test a few boreholes around this house. That's the job done now, anyway. Get the drain pipe in there now. No chance of getting a bit. Had an insulation in it, I would have done. Let's check my side bricks. Normally I'd be marking the side bricks if there's insulation in it or not. There's my side bricks there, look. That's the insulation was put in. Drill the holes. Done before my time. So it has been insulated. So how it comes they must that bit, well. How often do they make the hole? There's another hole up there. She's insulated, but there's not much in that wall there, I tell you. Must have been a Friday afternoon, they're on my house. Yeah, a bit of insulation when I cut out to cut the door frame in, but it wouldn't knock that much out. Take a mask off now. I'm not happy that there, like I like to be environmental friendly, no insulation in part of my house. So that's it now. I'll get that cleaned up and I'll wait till this dust settles and get something to eat then. Here's my old outdoor tap, standard outdoor tap. Used to have a hose lock connector. Hose lock connectors now come with a non-return valve. The hose lock thing's got smashed. It's been replaced with a brass. That doesn't have no non-return valve on it. When this was put on, there wasn't law. The code now is you must have a non-return valve. There's a hole from the waste. There's the hole now for me. I'm trying to keep the pipes to minimum inside, so ideally you wouldn't have one above the other, but it'll be all full now. Look at this. Never seen one of them before. Went to the plumbers and I thought I had to make it up myself. They actually sell that, so I'll get that silicone done now. So I have a wee bit more pebble dash and we'll get it nicely seated in. So if I get the silicone sealer on, get it all screwed in. But we see the tap now. The pipe's going to come up and join on. That's why I didn't want to bring it away out here. Pipes all over the place. Found this old tap in the shed. It looks so old, but that tap's maybe 5 years old, 6 years old. But look, has a non-return valve built inside it. Never knew you got such a thing. The time my mother got cancer, and she first got out of hospital, she couldn't go up the stairs. Didn't have a stair lift, and didn't want to use a commode. So I bought a real ceramic toilet and cistern, and I built a wooden portaloo in a backyard over the manhole cover. And I built a wee cover and all so she could walk the house out there and stay dry. Real ceramic toilet, flushed and all. But to get it flushed, I had hooked up the hose pipe and I used that tap to get water to it. So it hasn't been used much. There's the new tap there I bought yesterday. But that's a standard tap. Now, there's nothing wrong with a standard tap. I don't think you got none. See that tap's hollow? Now, this is a non-return valve. That's the direction of the water. The whole idea you have non-return valves, now you find that, you think this is hard to believe. But we'll say you had a hose pipe and you threw it into a swimming pool. Or a hose pipe and you threw it into, fill up a garden pond. When you take the speed the water goes through that hose pipe, bacteria can travel up the stream against the water, get into your house and pollute the whole neighbourhood. You think it's impossible? Must happen. So that's the idea of these. Fitting the outdoors. So any outdoor tap now, I need to fit one of them on. I have to change this plumber now because I'm bringing the plumber along the bottom. But I'll need to fit that on there. Now the thing is now, I can go on ahead and I can take this tap back and go on ahead and fit that tap. But if somebody else comes along after me and that tap breaks, they'll take it off, they'll go down to the plumbers, they'll grab one of these taps, won't have a non-return valve on it. So I think I'm going to go on ahead. The code says they fit one of these. It's about £3. So I'm going to go ahead and fit this. But I might just still put that tap on as well and take this one back. Double protection, like. If the neighbourhood gets polluted, they can't blame me then, like. They try to blame me for dog shit everywhere, even though I pick it up. They were blaming me for polluting the water too if I put an outdoor tap on. Carry on with some neighbours, you know. See them community groups, they get together and they all start nagging about, you know, that Henderson boy there. I see him walking his dog every day. Must be him with the dog shit. You know how they go on. So, plumber still doesn't have me part. I wouldn't have a part there. I have it in about 1 or 2 hours. So I'm going to turn the water off now and make these connections. So going with that then now, I'm going to have to take a tiny wee bit off that, and then I'll silicone it all in. Changing these pipes now to run along here. The problem is, I've been to the plumbers twice, and twice he hasn't got this big connector in. I'm using a thick pipe for the hot. The hot comes to the bath and the big pipe because the water pressure in hot's always lower. So I want to keep the big pipe to the last minute. And then I got this reducer to bring it back down to 15 mil by the time we got the taps. So I'm not going to wait any longer. So I'm going to put the 15 mil there, and I'm going to put the reducer there and the 15 mil there and run small pipe up. And then I can get this cut put on because I can't stop the water completely. So I'm going to disconnect this pipe now, put this one on, cut it to size, put on the connector, run it up, put on my on-off valve, then I can turn the water back on. I've finished the plumbing in the kitchen, and I changed this here. I put bleach on the old one. I thought I'd change this. The bleach is damaged, it's stainless steel. I tell you what, cheap crap. The new one I got is cheap crap. It's plastic. That's why the bleach damaged them. That one's not any better. But the ones that put the bath on put silicone. Silicone should never be put on. You never need. You're using silicone or something now, right? Why has it getting the silicone off? But look what I've done on here now, like. So I changed that black fitting there, the overflow pipe. I changed the flexible pipe that's going to the bath. The other one was getting rusty. That's the grey's the original. I put on that T-piece there. It's hard to show up there. So you see the connections I've made. So I was limited to where you just can't get. See that push foot connector? Disaster trying to get a push foot connector in. I think a compression fit would actually work better there because it's close to me. Could not, because you rely on somebody else to push it. I cannot get my hands on it because of the sink and all here. There's no space. The frame. Now when I was younger, my younger days, I put on them taps. I got in then. It's just old age now. It's getting to me. There's the hole on the far side there now. Look. You see how limited space I have. There's pipes. The pipes I put in is going over and under the existing pipes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pipes high there now. It's like a highway. Where's in my kitchen now? There's been a flood here. When I turned the water on, the water was gushing out of there. But because it's full in the bath, I didn't hear it. And I came in and I turned off that wee valve. I still kept coming out. I said, fuck, the valve's faulty. I actually forgot to turn off this valve here. So that's the main water on it. I put 2 valves on. That's going to be for the dishwasher. That one over there will be for the washing machine. Handy wee tees off there. So yesterday I put the pipes on temporary. So this is my permanent. I haven't clipped them on yet. I need it's just not even screwed on there yet. I need to get the wee bends now. I forgot my list this morning. There were 2 up pipes going up here now. For the sinks. And tell you what, but you see it, you wouldn't believe the amount of work there was in that. See that there, like, see that wee junction there? The headache that was there getting them pipes through there. That is a day's work there, believe it or not. Working out to get them pipes through and connect them up. I put a non-return valve there for the outdoor tap. So there's my outdoor tap now. Got the outdoor tap. I had to use carbon silicone sealer because I didn't have no silicone sealer. I'm going to put spray foam in there to seal that off. And the good thing about the spray foam, it's not ideal having the tap below that actually, but I want to keep the pipes a minimum inside the house, like. I don't want to bring pipes away out the wall, like. And whenever the foam's in, no water gets through it. Water actually activates the foam. There's my blueprints there. That's my blueprints there. Actually red and blue, like. Now the next thing I do now, whenever I put this tabletop on, that button has to come away. When I bring the machines down, when I actually put the machines in place, I'll cut out the sockets. So these will go down to the sockets and wire them up. It's pushing the rain out there, so I'm going to feed. Look at my wee Luna. Poor wee woman. She does not like me DIYing, so she does. Look at her. She's forced outside. Wee cushion's upside down, Luna. We didn't turn it the right way around. That's her wee caravan, her wee car cushion. And we call this wee one wee Basil. The wee local dog called Basil, after Basil Brush. We call this one Basil. So Basil's not a toy you pull the bits in it, no. Basil's is a wee toy you carry around, but you keep losing him. Aye. He's just a wee one you carry. See, people think she's ferocious and all. Oh, Luna likes a wee Basil. Tell you. It's actually a reindeer. She doesn't know that. That must be Basil the dog.